Hello, everyone. It is the 5th of June, 2026 already, y'all. Welcome to the month of June. This is the Inspiration Station with none other than your CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer, Joshua Lenox. I am so glad to be here with you guys as I am every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope that you all are still tuning in and watching and sharing and subscribing. As I said, some things have changed and they're still underway. And that's, you know what, like I said, it's a new thing, and anytime you're embarking on new things, or sometimes things might scale back for just a moment because you're trying to figure out what's the next direction or whatever. Of course, prayerfully, don't leave the Lord out of it. But I hope that each and every one of you are doing well. I hope that your Friday has been absolutely great. And exceeded any expectation that you had. And I know it's only getting better because now you're here with me. So I hope that you all are also continuing to grow, evolve, embracing the new you that you are actively becoming and seeing pieces of yourself that are no longer the same and things are changing. I don't know if anybody else is like that. I know I've been like that for the last we're always changing and evolving, but I noticed certain changes about myself over the last few weeks, especially where it's just like there's certain things I don't say anymore, certain things I don't like to listen to anymore, certain things that I don't adapt to anymore or that I no longer am associated with. And it's just different. And again, it's because it's like I almost feel like it's a movie that we're in that's being played out that we've never seen before, but God has. And He's holding the script like, keep on going. It's some things that I'm about to, that's coming up that you don't see yet, but just get ready, keep doing what you're doing. And again, you're almost like shedding old weight, shedding pieces of yourself that no longer serve you just to become a healthier and greater version of who you are. So, as you guys are watching and coming in, I want to jump right in. If this is your first time here, this will not be your last. I'm so glad that you're here. You're going to find out again that the Inspiration Station is just a place where we're not just inspirations to others, but we're inspirations to ourselves. We're open, we're honest, and we're vulnerable. We're not with just each other, but with our own selves, because the relationship that's often neglected is the one that we have with ourselves. We will be still having guests and things of that nature coming on here. And as of right now, y'all, if I be completely honest and transparent, I'm not sure what the direction of this is looking like right now, but I still will be showing up consistently and faithfully as I have been until further notice. For all I know, this could be going to TV. For all I know, I could be in a studio somewhere. I don't know, but we'll be paying attention to those things and I'll keep you updated. Um, one thing I want to talk about today, and I'm going to let you guys go because I know you cannot wait to get your Friday evening started and things of that nature. And some of you probably already been, you probably have Friday off. I don't know, but want to get started. And what I want to talk to you about really briefly is just that your obstacles are revealers. Your obstacles are revealers. I'm going to say a quick story, and then I'm going to explain some things that I'm going to let you go. I'm not going to hold y'all hostage today, but I actually put a reel out on Wednesday, I believe, and I was speaking about when I went running. I often go run in the evenings. I'll work out early in the morning. Y'all, I work out like at 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes six. It just depends on the day and things of that nature. But I typically between 5 and 6, you can see me in the gym in the morning, and I'm still just knowing that it's by the grace of God that I do that because I'm not really a morning person at all. But I've had to teach myself and let that be even something for you to catch on to. Sometimes you have to do certain things that you know will be necessary or helpful. It fits my schedule better for me to work out early in the morning like that and then do my cardio and stuff in the evenings. It's not my favorite time, but it's become that. I've made it that. I've had to speak that. And sometimes you're going to have to do the same. You can't always say, well, I don't like doing that, or this ain't going to work, or I'd rather do this. Sometimes you might have to adjust in order for you to, again, grow, shift your mindset, and do things that are going to be necessary for the journey ahead and where your life is going at this very time, because you can't continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. That's insanity. And you know what? It's brought about great change for me, even spiritually, getting up there early in the morning. And I used to love to just listen to music when I work out in the gym. I used to, but I think since January, I listen to prayer and devotions while I'm working out, which is really different from me because anybody who knows me, music, turn it on, I need it for everything. But in the evenings, at least, I get to do that when I run. Gotta have that. But at the same time, who knows what that where that will go. So I went running Wednesday, y'all, and it was a little warmer. It's been raining like crazy here in Atlanta, and I'm pretty sure for some of y'all, you'll probably have been experiencing the same thing. But it's been raining like crazy, and it was just a beautiful day. And it was finally a day that didn't really look like overcast in the evening, and I could not wait to go. And for some reason, I guess everybody else was like, "Oh, I got to get out the house too." But it's usually a lot of people at the trail that I go run on. But people are usually pretty much aware of their surroundings and a spatial awareness as far as staying on one side. So we have two-way traffic. So sometimes you do have people who is like two people walking together, and one person might be a little further over, but when they sense people coming, they get over. Well, not Wednesday, y'all. It seemed like everybody and their mama wanted to be on both sides. And while I'm just starting to run, I'm noticing already, and it's making me feel like it's resistance because it's like people are trying to slow me down and they're in my way. But one thing about me is either I'm going to say something or I'm just going to run past you. You're going to realize, oh, and some people get scared and stuff. And I'm like, well, if you move out the way, I know you heard me coming. But I was running, continuously running, just going, going, going. And I'm like, I'm starting to get frustrated internally. I'm saying some things in my head too about these people because I'm like, no, they know better than this. You move to the other side. You got your dogs and stuff out here. Move. You should be on one side. And it continued. And I was like, is this a joke? I'm waiting on Smile. You're on Candy Camera. I'm waiting on somebody to pop out, or this is punked or something. I'm like, is somebody playing a joke on me? Running, running, running. And again, y'all, it just continued. You finally get to this one place. It's a hill. The first hill you have, and I mean, it's steep and it's a long hill. So I always prep myself mentally to say, this is the easiest thing you're going to do, even though it's very challenging. It's very challenging. And there were people even on the hill on that day, and I was just like, God, what is going on? So I'm powering through, but it's making me have to run faster because I'm having to run past people, and it's making me frustrated. But it's like my frustration was causing me to accelerate, which usually on that hill, I don't run that fast because it's like I got to pace myself because I got a whole lot more trail to run. And I got up there first, that hill, and I mean, I was furious a little bit. I got to the top and I kept going. I'm thinking in my head, like, people just out here just doing anything they want to do, just need to move out the way. And it felt like people were just obstacles everywhere I was going, challenges, resistance, trying to keep me from moving forward at the pace that I needed to go. So I had to almost speed up faster than I wanted to. I'm going, 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 going. Then went down and finally got down to the endpoint and then turned back around. And it's the same thing happening. And I'm like, Lord, and I had like little breaks where it wasn't a lot of people in certain places, but I'm like, are people not paying attention? You got people on their phones. Hey, y'all, if you're out walking on your phone or something, pay attention to what's around. Don't get so glued to your phone where you just zone out, okay? Okay, I'm back. That was my commercial break. But I was just starting to get frustrated. When I'm running or working out, it's very spiritual. And I feel like it's always things that God is showing me about my life. He's showing me about things out that I might come up against, things that are going to help me grow, things that are going to challenge me. He's always speaking about where I've come from, my progress, things that I'm internally dealing with. It's like a conversation all the time. And I'm running, got my music going. Soon as I was coming down, I think the last part, it became very busy and like people were weaving in and out and driving bikes and stuff. So for some reason, the last mile I took off sprinting and it's like I didn't turn back. And I mean, I was on turbo. You would have thought I had rockets behind me. And I'm thinking like in my head, Josh, you got like a whole mile left, right? I sprinted the whole way until I got to the end because I knew I was close to the end. And I was like, you know what? Sprint it out. Get it. Hurry up. Get past all of this crap because it's about to make me upset. And sometimes I would tell people like, excuse me, coming through, and I'm like, and then they act so surprised. I had a couple too. I remember they were walking and they were walking together. They were walking in both other ways. And I'm thinking like, what are they doing? They were walking close together. And when I came, they split. I was like, come on, Moses and the Red Sea. I guess I was the rod that stretched out because they were about to get, I was not going to slow down. And I was like, move. And when I got to my finish line, when I got to the finish line, I usually stop and then I'll be walking to my car. And I got overwhelmed for just a minute because I thought about my own life and I want you all to think about your own life. So I'm like, you know what? And I was praying, I was talking to God about some things and about what I was feeling and about my own life and how I felt like even that moment of time of running those 6 to 8 miles and feeling as if it was just obstacles. It was like things trying to make me have to slow down and making it harder on me. And when you run, and you have a certain pace, you don't want to have to keep slowing down or having to adjust because it's very frustrating. It's almost like I'm in a certain rhythm. Don't mess up my rhythm. However, it was productive for me, and I'm going to tell you why. And I want you to think about this in your own life. But when I got in the car, I shed some tears. I started to cry because I was praying. I was just telling God, thank you. And I was like, sometimes, and I said, even currently in my life right now, I feel like there are certain obstacles that always try to pop up to slow my progress, but I keep pressing. I keep pushing. And sometimes you get tired. And that's another thing. When you have things popping up and have people moving around and having to switch between speeds all of the time, it almost can make you feel fatigued or tired too soon. And I was just like, God, this is almost like how my life feels sometimes, where there are obstacles, things trying to stop me, trying to impede my progress. And I'm still going against it. Whatever resistance it is, whatever difficulties and whatever challenges, I'm still pressing forward no matter what it is or what keeps coming in my pathway. And I had a revelation. I was like, well, I guess this is gonna be Friday, right? This is gonna be the inspiration station. But my obstacles were producing something. First of all, it was making me frustrated. So I want you to think about that. Think about some things, obstacles in your life or challenges, and it's making you mad. It's making you upset. You just frustrated with it. You're irritated. But it was causing me to do something. I was accelerating past all of these things. I was pushing past it. No matter what person was in my way, I kept going past. If I had to speak to it, okay, we're not finna have Bible study. But if I had to speak to it to make it move out the way, it did. If I had to go around something, I did. If I had to kind of veer off a little bit and then circle back around and get back on the path, I did that. So it's like it made me frustrated, but it also I sped up. And usually I was going at a pace that I typically don't run, but I knew that I had to do it because I had a plan. I needed to finish this trail. So again, even at the trail, you can put whatever you want to put in there. You need to finish this business. You need to finish this. You're dating somebody and you're getting closer to full commitment or anything of that nature. Or maybe you're engaged and you're moving towards marriage. It's like it's a plan there that I want to continue to walk out. Whether that's you going back to school, whether that's you starting your family, whether you're getting a home, whether you're moving, whether you're doing anything, y'all, even if you're in the kitchen cooking something for the first time, you want to see it through. But then there's sometimes, I mean, even think about like going to the bank to get a loan or going to do anything. Just put anything in that blank there. It doesn't have to be a trail, but there's a plan that you have and you expect a certain outcome, but you don't realize sometimes there are going to be things that pop up that try to get you to stop or slow you down or delay you. And it's an unnecessary delay, but also it will pull something out of you. Mine, it caused me to be angry enough to do something about it. I got irritated, so it pushed me to go further a little faster on that day. So also another thing I noticed was I couldn't focus so much on the people. I had to continue to stay focused on my path, on my race, on what I'm running. I had to stay focused because if I would have done that, I would have just eventually stopped and said, you know what, I'm just go back and come back tomorrow when maybe it's not a lot of people. I was like, no, I'm out here, so you might as well handle your business. So instead of focusing so much on the people, I focused on the path. So that's the same thing for you. Instead of you focusing on those things that are in your way or you feel that are in your way, you can maneuver around them, whatever it is. Nothing can actually, nobody stopped me. It just made me have to work harder than I wanted to. And that's the thing as well. Maybe some things in your life are having to make you work a little harder than you were thinking you had to. Thinking like, well, I thought it would be a little easier. It wouldn't be this hard. And it's like, well, maybe you needed it to be that way. Maybe you need to get upset so it caused you to make some level of action. On the other hand, when you talk about it being a revealer, it was revealing what was on the inside of me too, because I'm thinking I'm at some point, especially coming back, I'm thinking like, I'm about wore out because these hills are alive with the sound of music. Do you hear me? They're very challenging. And running the trail, period, it has its ups and downs and intervals. So by the time you get toward the end, you ready to you be like, all right, I'm almost done. I'm ready to. I can't wait to get home or whatever. My body is like, okay, we're this has been good. Let's go ahead and stop and walk. And I kept pushing. What it produced and allowed me to see within myself is when I started to sprint because I was frustrated, it let me know you actually have more in you than you think you do. You have much more in you than I mean, I went into a full sprint after doing all of that. I went into a full sprint. I know people were looking like, "What is he? Is this?" I'm not trying to be funny, y'all, but especially black people who were out there probably thinking like, "Oh, he running a little too fast." Right here, somebody, he looking around, looking like, "Is something dangerous around us or anything like that?" But I just took off running faster, and it's like, what? I have more in my tank, just like you do. Some of you all are tired. Some of you all have been trying, you've been doing all that you can, you've been putting in the hours, the time, the creativity, the endurance, the stamina, the late hours, the early mornings, the late nights and the early mornings, the sacrifices, the compromises. You have not been able to do all the things that you want to do because you have a plan and you're having to stick to it and you're tired. I'm here to tell you, just as much as I was tired, my body was like, okay, we good. If you want to stop walk right now, you good. I took off sprinting. That let me know that I had so much more power on the inside of me. And I sprinted to the very end. Also, because I knew I was closer to the end of my race, I want to say, or my run, my trail. I'm calling it a race because that's what we have in life. So maybe that's you right now. You're closer to the end, or where your end goal, your outcome, what you've been expecting, what you've been working hard for, what you've been praying for, what you've been requesting for. You're almost there, but something in you is just hard sometimes. You just want to stop and just say, you know what, forget it. All these obstacles keep popping up, all these challenges, even though you keep persevering, you keep getting going past it. You keep thriving, not even surviving, you keep thriving, even though you feel like you're getting pushed back, even though you feel like you're getting resistance, you're still making huge progress. And you're so close. So because you're so close, I want you to remember, use some of that when you had that frustration, when you're fatigued and you just feel like you want to give up. Let it do something. Let it cause you to have an action and say, you know what? Obviously, if I'm getting all of this resistance, it's because it's producing something that's going to be great and it's going to be bigger than just me. And it's something trying to stop me because it's great. Whatever is on the inside of you has got to come out. Whatever you're going to be producing, whatever the things that you are, the fruit that you're going to bear in your life, of course, you're going to have resistance because there's always going to be an attack on you because you're chosen. God has anointed you. He's gifted you. He's given you great talents and skills that are going to impact and touch lives all over. So, of course, you're going to have resistance. You're going to have warfare. You're going to have, again, attacks on your life. And again, sometimes those attacks come from people, like those people out there on the trail, but people attack what they lack. And when you're out trying to do some things that you've never done before, you're trying to improve your life, you're trying to actually develop into a person you've never been, and you're also trying to live a life that you've never had and live out your dreams, there's going to be attacks and things trying to get you to stop. It's like, oh, I don't want you to see your potential. I don't want you to see that you're greater than you are. I don't want you to think that your life can ever become better than where it is. So, you have more in you right now than you think. So even though you're tired, I dare you to push. I dare you to press. I know you've been like, well, Josh, I've been pushing, I've been pressing, I've been praying, but there's more in you. I promise you. If I could finish that race, or I keep saying race because it's just running, it's just a cardio, but maybe it's not because, like I told you, when I'm working out and things, it's very spiritual. So it's like parallel to my life. And there are things that I'm close to that sometimes I'm tired of pushing and pressing and believing and, all of those things. But I know I've got to get there. Just like you've got to get there, and you have more in you to push. Just maybe one more mile like what I had of just sprinting it out, pushing it out. Don't even, and it's almost like I blocked everything out. I remain laser focused on seeing the end of that trail. And even though the people are around, I didn't see them. I was just full speed ahead. And that's how you are right now. You're going to be full speed ahead. I know you're tired, but I need you to push harder. I know you're tired. I need you to pray harder. I know you're tired. I need you to believe harder. I need you to faith this thing. I need you to continue to trust God in the lane that you're in right now. Whatever you're doing, you're going to get there. You just got to push a little harder. So, I love y'all. I hope that you got something out of this today. Actually, I know you did. And some of y'all are probably going to feel like you need to go run now. And if you do, that's good. Just make sure it's not raining, and make sure it's not too many people out there. But if there is people out there, you just push on, speak to them, speak to tell them to move out the way, or either run or move around. But don't let anything stop you or impede you on what you are setting out to do in anything in any way or a shape, form, or fashion in your life or any area of your life. Let nothing stop you. It's going to be obstacles, there's going to be challenges that get right in your way. You speak to those things, or you move them out the way, or you find another way, you find another a way around it. So I love y'all. Again, your obstacles are revealers. They reveal what's on the inside of you. They also reveal a lot about who you are, and you're being a threat. You're a threat. So that's a lot of times why obstacles tend to show up, because it's like, oh, I don't want you to get there. We're trying to see if we can slow you down. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So I will see you all again on Friday next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And to all my international people out there, y'all know what it is. Y'all know y'all's time zones very well. So again, you have always been great. You're just actually embracing it now, and you just being better. I jacked it up. Wait a minute, you've always been great. You're just getting better, and you're finally embracing it. Y'all, I might have should have just slowed down. It might have been something new, but you've always been great. You're just getting better, and you're learning to embrace it. So, I love y'all. Please be safe. Have a great Friday, or rest of your evening. Have a great weekend. And y'all, I'm telling y'all, we're in the middle of the year. And I want you to also take a moment. Your homework is to reflect back over already in this year how you've overcome so many things that you were experiencing resistance and challenge with. Okay? All right. Y'all can leave. I won't hold you hostage, I promise. But I love y'all, and I will see y'all next week. Take care. Bye.